Toby Golan kicks off back deep. It'd be Brian Mitchell to handle it for Washington, and he's one of the best. He won't get a chance to show it this time as they excel. Billy Davis down to make the stop. Welcome those of you missed the opening kickoff. That's all. Those of you watching Detroit play and defeat Minnesota. Gus Frerotte opens at quarterback for Washington, 4-year veteran. In front of him, a huge offensive line. Joe Patton, Trey Johnson, Jeff Ulenek at center, Dahl, and Pordanish. Allen and Bowie, the running back. Shepard, Westbrook, Ride, and Jamie Asher. This is Terry Allen. He is knocked backwards. Hit by Randall Godfrey, who's really been playing well lately. And let's look at that Dallas defense. The front four: Carver, Hennings back, Tony Casillas and Tony Tolbert. The three linebackers very quick on the outside: Godfrey and Coakley. Fred Strickland in the middle. And their secondary, those two great corners, Deion Sanders and Kevin Smith, and Woodson and Marion deep.
Deion Sanders out there now on Westbrook, Michael Westbrook.
Terry Allen wrestled to the ground by Dexter Coakley as he tried to cut it back. It'll be third down for the Redskins and about 7.
These Cowboy linebackers have Terry Allen zeroed in on. On the first play, Randall Godfrey really hit him and misdirected him or redirected him. Then the second play, that guy right there, Dexter Coakley, was all over him as he got to the line of scrimmage.
Chad Hennings, after missing 5 weeks with an injured groin, back and playing well, solidifies the middle of the Dallas defense. Here's Gus Frerotte. Has almost intercepted by Charlie Williams. And he had nothing but touchdown in his mind.
Yep, the Cowboys are in their nickel defense, and that's why number 42, Charlie Williams, is here. And you can see that he's the free guy. He was playing inside out, just sitting there reading Gus Frerotte. He got a jump on it and almost took that thing in. Look at Deion. I don't know if he's exciting himself, the crowd, his teammates, or who.
Whatever. I hope he didn't hurt himself.
He's really carrying on before he even gets the ball.
Matt Turk. The punt bounces and Sanders fields it and steps out of bounds, and the Cowboys will take over at the 38-yard line, their own 38. Just a little friendly conversation.
Well, that's what you get in a division rivalry. You know, the division rivalry, we were just talking about that. They play each other twice a year, and they know each other better than they know other teams.
Troy Aikman, 9-year veteran. And in front of him, a makeshift offensive line, Hageman and Tony Hudson starting his first time ever. Allen and Newton and Clay Shiver at center. Emmitt Smith and Herschel Walker in the backfield with Anthony Miller and Michael Irvin wide. And Eric Bjornsson, the tight end. They open with 2 tight ends as LaFleur comes in motion, and Emmitt Smith hammers straight ahead, a big hole right up the middle. The Redskin defense: Owens, Boutte, Keel, and Kennard Lang. Derek Smith, Marcus Patton, and Greg Jones, the linebackers. Marvcus, pronounced Marcus. Darrell Green and Chris Dishman, the corners. Richard and Campbell, the 2 safeties. 2nd and 3. Emmitt Smith got 7 on his first carry. Emmitt will get his second try, and he won't get much out of this. Did well to get back to the line of scrimmage, out of bounds by Jesse Campbell, who went over the top of the bench.
You know, that's what this Redskin defense does well. I mean, they're going to give you a little. They're 29th against the run, but you don't score a lot against them. And there's Mike Nolan. He's a defensive coordinator, and they play a gap defense. And on that play there, on that defensive play there, everyone had their gap, and there was no place for Emmitt Smith to run to the outside. That gap was taken, and all the inside gaps were taken for cutbacks.
3rd and 3, 2 tight ends set up again. This is Anthony Miller in motion. And Aikman, as whistles blow, and a flag on the play.
Yeah, it's interesting, Pat. I was just watching down here. Chris Dishman is man-to-man on Michael Irvin with no help whatsoever.
Prior to the snap, offense number 66, 5-yard penalty, still third
Coleman.
down.
Number 66, of course, is Tony Hudson, who you were just saying that is starting his first game ever. But watch down here. Here's Michael Irvin. Here's Chris Dishman right here. This is going to be a matchup to watch all day, and you can see that he's not only on a man-to-man, but he had no help whatsoever.
3rd and 8. 3 wide receivers set up. Aikman retreats. Has a lot of time. Throws it out of bounds. And the Cowboys, again, can't get much going the first time they have the ball. They'll have to punt.
You know, it was interesting. Before the penalty, the Washington Redskins were in man-to-man coverage. So they did have man-to-man. Then they got the 5-yard penalty. Then the Redskins went into a zone defense. I think Troy Aikman was expecting a man-to-man coverage.
Good kick by Goen. This is Brian Mitchell. Fair catch at the 16. That's where the Redskins will start their second possession. Neither club's offensive unit able to manufacture much in their first possession.
I don't think either one of these teams have been very good this year on their first possession. I think they're teams that want to establish a running game, and they have trouble. If you stop that run, and you usually do stop the run early. I mean, in any game, it is more difficult to run the football early than it is later in the game. So if you're going to establish that, a lot of times with both teams, it happened to both teams, with the run, they just ran into a wall. Look at this crowd today, huh, Pat? What the heck's this all about?
This is a wave. I haven't seen a wave in a long time. Here is the fullback, Larry Bowie, to the 25.
Norv Turner was telling us that Larry Bowie is really making a difference in this offense. You know, he's not only a blocker, but he's also now becoming a runner, where you can, instead of giving it every time to Terry Allen, once in a while you pop it to Larry Bowie, but he's also becoming a pass receiver. He's a lot like he had when he was here with the Cowboys, a lot like the way he used Moose Johnston.
Those are big shoes to be compared with.
I think he's talking about in the passing game. There's no one blocks like Moose did.
Here he is again. Bowie, and that's enough for a first down for the Redskins.
See, Norv Turner calls his own plays, and what he's trying to do now by running Bowie is taking that key off of Terry Allen, because the first time the Redskins had the ball, you could see that they were just keying on Terry Allen. Now watch, if you watch Terry Allen here and key on him, here's where the ball's going to go. So he'll go one way, and then Bowie comes back the other way. You see Terry Allen go to the right, and then Bowie run really a counter back to the left. So if you're reading or keying Allen, you're going to go away from Bowie.
It's a first down. Barat swings it out to Terry Allen. I was talking to, well, let's look at the injuries first. Key injuries for the Cowboys. Mark Tuinei, Eric Williams out this week with a bad ankle. Darryl Johnson, he had neck surgery, still wearing that brace. Will wear it for about 6 weeks. It's been about a week now.
And he was such a special part of this Dallas Cowboy offense. I think all the time I've been watching football, that Darryl Johnston consistently was the best blocking fullback I'd ever seen.
And I'm not surprised he has a bad neck. That's Terry Allen, and he is knocked backwards, and right now for a McDonald's game break. John Madden back at Texas Stadium. 3 wide receivers in motion. This is Brian Mitchell. Big hole up the middle. Close to midfield is Mitchell.
I'll tell you, Norv Turner is calling an excellent series here, Pat, because he started by mixing him up with Bowie, and then he gets him here. You see, and he gets the defense here in the nickel defense. The nickel defense is just a pass. He gets in a passing formation. He gets the 3 wide receivers, a 1 tight end, and then boom, he just pops a trap up the middle. You get that middle linebacker, and there's no one there until you get to the safety.
1st and 10 at the 48. That's Bowie again. Crosses midfield. I started to say a minute ago, I was talking to Sonny Jurgensen before the game, and he said the one thing the Redskins have is the best play caller in the NFL. That, of course, is the man you just mentioned, Norv Turner.
Yeah, and he's one of the, there's about 4 or 5 head coaches that call their own plays. Most of them are called by offensive coordinator, but Norv Turner is the head coach, and he's also the offensive coordinator, and I agree with Sonny Jurgensen.
2 tight ends set up. Here comes the blitz by Block Marion. Farrat just got rid of it.
We talk about things that you have to do, and you could see that they were getting the tempo. Now what they're going to do is Brock Marion is back here, and he starts like he's going to cover, and then he just times that thing perfectly. He started out, he was 12 yards deep. He worked up to about 8. Then he looked like he was going with the motion man, and when the ball was snapped, he was right at the line of scrimmage.
Unaccounted for.
That's one way to throw Norv Turner out of rhythm, because Norv Turner was getting into a very good rhythm of play calling.
3 wide receivers, 3rd down, about 8. Farrat. Incomplete. Intended for Alvin Harper, which is still a big name in these parts.
Yeah, they're going to go at Deion Sanders. Here's Deion Sanders here with Alvin Harper, his old teammate, but he's not going to get anything. I mean, he still had it, and Farrat just threw it right through Alvin Harper's hands. Or Alvin Harper let it go right through his hands, or whatever.
Those of you who watched Atlanta defeat St. Louis 27-21, welcome to Texas Stadium. We have no score here. Pat Summerall with John Madden as the Redskins' Matt Turk punts as only he can. The ball bouncing inside the 5, and is going to be down right there. Didn't apparently get into the end zone, and so that's where the Cowboys will start from. The 5, their own 5.
Matt Turk is a heck of a punter. I mean, and he dropped this ball right about the 1-yard line. Look at it. It hits there. It doesn't look like it touches the goal line. It's tapped again before it crosses the goal line, and then comes out to about the 4-yard line. That was a heck of a punt.
And it looked like it hit the goal line.
The thing is, you have to get that ball and get it off, and you can't look. A punter can't look at someone coming. That's about as close to a block as you can get without having the ball blocked.
That was Kavika Pittman, number 97. 1st and 10 at their own 5, Dallas. That ball looked like it landed on the goal line. Here's Aikman in the end zone. Just over the outstretched fingertips of Michael Irvin.
Well, I think they figured out, the Cowboys did, that on 1st down they're going to get man coverage. They're not going to get it on 3rd down. There's Chris Dishman. He's going man for man with Michael Irvin. He's right there with him. Troy Aikman makes a perfect pass.
Oh, boy.
I mean, he threw that where Michael Irvin was either going to catch it or it was going to be incomplete. But there was no way Chris Dishman was going to get his hands on it.
So it's 2nd and 10 from the 5.
Well, that was a pretty aggressive shot there, but that's the time to take an aggressive shot, when you're backed up on 1st down.
LaFleur is the man on the move. Aikman gives to Emmitt Smith, and Emmitt almost breaks loose, gets to about the 10, across the 10 to the 12. Stopped by Marcus Patton.
You know, big Eric Williams, who usually plays that right tackle, is not only not starting today, he's not even dressed, he's inactive, and they ran that one in there behind Tony Hudson. They did a pretty good job of blocking over there on that right side. Of course, Tony Hudson is helped by having Larry Allen right next to him.
Larry Hudson's over 300 himself and very athletic.
Well, he was a defensive lineman when he first came to the Cowboys.
2 tight ends again. LaFleur on the move. Aikman back to throw it. Outside to Bjornsson. Don't know if he got the first. Don't think so.
Now, the Cowboys seem to leave more of these things short. I mean, they only had 3rd down and about 3 yards to go, and they throw a 2.5-yard pass. And they seem to do that more and more this year. I mean, I don't think that's any coach's fault or a bad call, or I think that's between the quarterback and the receiver. The receiver has to get beyond the 1st down marker.
It just doesn't make sense.
No, I mean the tight end has to know that you need 3.5 yards, not 3.
Another good punt. Mitchell signals fair catch. Warm welcome to the Blockbuster blimp and its crew to today's event. Piloting that Blockbuster blimp is Captain Paul Adams, and what a view he's On the sparkling day. You can see the shadow down at the bottom of the
right
stadium.
here. Isn't that the shadow?
That's the shadow. You just drew a blimp.
I know. Right there.
Good.
Just drew a blimp around the blimp. Who would have thought?
Your talents continue to advance.
No.
And amaze me.
No.
First and 10, Washington. At their own 40. No score yet. Terry Allen. 4 yards perhaps. Rarely does he get knocked backwards.
You know, he ran right in there behind Jeff Heulenake, the 7-year veteran center. Remember, they got him from the Miami Dolphins, and they didn't think he was going to be able to play this week. He hurt his left knee, and he had a major surgery on that. In fact, he had that grafted, and he tore a graft in his knee, or stretched a graft in his knee. So he had to bring a brace back. He had his mother send 7 braces from his house, and that's one of them.
Terry Allen again. Pounds it up to about the 48. It'll bring up third and about 4.
Yeah, he got that knee stretched again, and he hadn't worn a brace. And since he'd been with Miami, so he called his mother in Ohio, and he said, "Look in my closet, and there's a sack of braces." So his mother sent a sack of braces, 7 braces.
You like to have that up in your attic?
Yeah.
Old sack of braces.
Old sack of braces. So his mother sent the whole big old sack of braces. He picked out a brace, and he's playing against the Dallas Football Cowboys.
How many more
with one of the braces?
Fake is to Allen. Throw by Barrett is incomplete. Leslie Shepard was the target.
Yeah, and that was a good throw by Gus Frerotte. I mean, he hit Leslie Shepard right between the 8 and the 6. He's just going to run up here, and he's going to run a hook. You see, he just finds a hole right there, comes under control, and the ball hit him perfectly. And he started, I think he had it in his stomach, and he started to bring his head up when he dropped that one.
Here's Matt Turk. Last time pinned the Cowboys down at their own 5.
This is a defensive struggle.
This one is a rocket. That one is going to go in the end zone and out of the end zone. Tuesday on Fox. Hate to make a living picking games.
What did JB say? A tale of 2 kickers?
That's Emmitt Smith, right side.
We were talking to Troy Aikman yesterday. These were the things that he said that he felt they had to be able to do. They had to be able to run the ball and then work the underneath stuff. He said because it's going to be tough with the outside receivers because of Darrell Green on one side, Chris Dishman on the other side, and the 2 Washington Redskin corners. They're such good players that he's going to have to work his tight end, work his running back, and work the running game. And then if you can get that defense to tighten up, then you can take some shots.
First down is Emmitt Smith. Running like we haven't seen him in a long time. 6 carries, 41 yards. They put in a couple of sweeps, which has not ever been the Cowboys' strong suit.
One thing they wanted, they felt that they were just running inside, running behind the guards too much, and they felt that they had to do some more sweeping and just stretch the defense a little.
First and 10, it's Miller on the move again. And Aikman drops. Incomplete, intended LaFleur.
Pass was intended for David LaFleur.
No score here at Texas Stadium. And welcome those of you who watched Baltimore and Philadelphia play to a 10-10 tie. It's Barry Switzer, beleaguered of late, criticized of late. Still the head coach of the Cowboys, though.
Norv Turner on a roll. A lot of people would think that they would like to see Norv Turner come back here as a head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, but in my mind, there's no way that's going to happen.
No, Norv likes it where he is. Here's
Emmitt Smith.
I was sitting out in the bus today, and Nate Newton came by and says that before the game, and had his son Trey with him and say, "How you doing, Nate? Good." And he said that he's really looking forward just to going out and having fun today. That he said, "Son, I've been talking to Nate Newton for so many years. We all have, and I've never heard him ever say that before. We're going to go kick. We're going to do this. We're going to do that." But they said we're going to go out and have fun today. So.
3 wide receivers, 3rd down. They need 9. No blitz. Pass is caught by Stepford Williams, and here's a guy who's really come on in the clutch.
Yep, especially 3rd down. It seems like every 3rd down, the guy that Troy Aikman is looking for now when it gets 3rd and 7 or 8 is Stepford Williams.
Just a great throw and a good catch.
Here he is out here. See, now here he is, and here's Darrell Green. Now let's watch it on the replay when we isolate it. You see, this is what it's going to look like here. That now he knows where that 1st down is. Here's a 1st down marker. He goes beyond, works back, but doesn't get back beyond the 1st down marker. And like I said, he's working against a great one in Darrell Green.
And Aikman had the ball right on the money. He is back to throw again, number 8. For Miller. Nothing there.
That's the old double move thing, but you're not going to get a lot of things on Darrell Green. I mean, they got the 3rd down pass on him, and then to think that they're going to come back and get a double move and a pump and a post on Darrell Green, you're not going to make a living doing that. If you could, Darrell Green wouldn't have been in this league for 15 years.
He looks like, in fact, he was saying on the airplane when the Redskins were coming down here, that the flight attendants thought he was the rookie on the team because everybody came by hit it. He looks like he's about 23 years old.
Yeah, he was so proud that the flight attendant said that she thought he was 25 years old and he's 37.
Aikman. Perfectly thrown to Bjornsson. And a flag on the play.
Aikman has thrown some perfect passes. You're talking about the 3rd down to Stepford Williams as being a perfect pass. That pass there to Bjornsson was a perfect pass. And these are the types of things that have been killing the Cowboys all year.
28 yards. The catch by Bjornsson is wiped out.
Illegal formation.
Illegal formation.
On the offense, number 69 was on the end of the line. 5-yard penalty. Repeat 2nd down.
Walt Coleman.
Now what that means is there's no end on the line of scrimmage here. See, that has nothing to do with Hageman. That's just the way they call the thing. But see, there's no one out here, so he becomes the end man. And that's not his fault. He had to be on the line of scrimmage to make that a legal formation. See what happened? Because there's no receiver outside of George Hageman. He was the end man on the line of scrimmage, which makes him eligible, and he's an ineligible number in an ineligible position.
69, Hageman's number, ineligible. To Emmitt. Emmitt Smith shakes one Redskin, shakes another one. Gets down inside the 40 to the 37. Chris Dishman knocked Emmitt Smith out of bounds.
I'll tell you, Ken Harvey was out there, and Ken Harvey for years has been a good football player. And he has a bad shoulder now, but he had Emmitt Smith zeroed in, and Emmitt Smith made one of those Barry Sanders types of moves on him. Watch it when he gets the ball out here, and watch number 57, Ken Harvey, right there. He doesn't even touch Emmitt Smith. I mean, he threw a bagel at him. He just whiffed.
Yeah.
And Emmitt Smith went right by him.
He might have scraped his jersey, but that's all.
That's still a Barry Sanders move.
Aikman. Bjornsson.
That's the underneath stuff that Troy Aikman was talking about, and that time Eric Bjornsson got that. I mean, they were 3rd down. They needed the 1st down, and now you watch him right here. He's going to get beyond the 1st down mark. You see, last time he caught one, he was short, and they had a punt. This time he got beyond the marker. Troy Aikman hits him. Then when he hits him, you get a 1st down.
I think maybe somebody spoke to Eric Bjornsson about his choice of yard markers.
Yeah, well, that one was smart. The other one was dumb.
That's probably what they said.
You used to be dumb, now you're smart. You got whistles and stuff.
So that's the end of the 1st quarter. No score at Texas Stadium. Neither team until this drive by Dallas able to move. 10th play of this drive upcoming. Pat Summerall with John Madden at Texas Stadium. Redskin 27. 1st and 10.
Here's Michael Irvin. He goes out here. Here's Chris Dishman. He goes out with him. One of the great matchups. Not a bad shot to take right here on 1st down.
Emmitt Smith. And Emmitt to the 15. A
tell you, that's not a bad shot either. Just run Emmitt Smith right up behind Nate Newton. You just watch him here. He's going to get. Here's Nate Newton here. Here's George Aikman here. Clay Shiver here. They're just firing out, and Emmitt's just going to get right in there. Do they get a little motion going to that side? Get an extra tight end. Good block by Clay Shiver and a good block by Nate Newton. Shiver got his guy going to that side, and Emmitt Smith just broke right off his center's block.
1st and 10. Emmitt will get another try, and this one they close it up. And Dallas, over the course of the year, and you can see down at the bottom their percentage this year, 34% of the time they score touchdowns, and what they did in the great years.
Emmitt Smith has a bad hand, and you can see that, Pat, I think he just hurt it on that play again, either his hand or his arm or his shoulder.
He had a broken thumb on his right hand.
On his right hand, and that looks like the area that pointing to right now.
So Sherman Williams. Aikman to Walker. To the 12. Herschel Walker. Marcus Patton made the stop.
That's the old bootleg there. You don't see the Cowboys use a lot of this, where Nate Newton pulls out and leads with Troy Aikman. You see, here's Nate Newton leading, you know, so he's a blocker. On a bootleg, a quarterback comes out and either has no protector, and that's called a naked bootleg, or it's just a regular bootleg where he does have a protector. That time he had Nate Newton pulling, so that was just a bootleg.
3rd and 7. This time it's one setback. That's Sherman Williams. They have 3 wide receivers. Flag on the play.
And the Dallas Cowboy woes continue down here.
And this is going to be against them as well.
Well, that's part of their woes.
I think the false start.
Offense number 73. 5-yard
Larry
penalty.
Allen.
Still 3rd down.
Yeah, this is where Larry Allen is moving to left tackle. He's normally the right guard, but on 3rd down or on passing downs, they're moving him from right guard to left tackle. And he's going to go over there, and he's blocking against Ken Harvey, the best pass rusher of the Redskins. So you get Larry Allen. He's moving from the right side to the left side and from guard to tackle. And he jumped a little. Here he is right here now again.
John Flannery took his place at right guard. Aikman. Stepford Williams, and I think the ball hit the ground.
I think it did too, but Troy Aikman hit him perfectly.
Oh boy, right there.
Stepford Williams dropped that ball. That was good protection. They had good protection on that one. Aikman came back, found Williams, and he just hits him with it, and Williams drops the ball. Watch his protection. He has good time. He's looking all the way. He throws the pass in there, and it just goes right through Stepford Williams.
He bounced it.
I don't know that maybe Darrell Green didn't have a little something to do with it, but that looked like Stepford Williams should have had that one.
Richie Cunningham from 35 yards out. He's made 27 field goals, now 28 already this year. That's 2 seasons normally. 3-0. Dallas over Washington. The field goal is officially by Richie Cunningham, 34 yards long. Brian Mitchell, one of the very best. He was a quarterback in college. Working on Emmitt Smith over on the side. It's a right elbow contusion is the word we get on the injury.
Yeah, it looked like it was one of those things where you hit the funny bone and all the feeling went dead in his right arm.
The Cowboys do cover the kicks. Their special teams, their coverage teams have always been just outstanding. 3-0. Downtown Dallas. We're in Irving, which is, as I said earlier, located about halfway between Dallas and Fort Worth and Irving. Cowboys 3, Redskins nothing. 12-11 left to play in the first half.
The Cowboys on that scoring drive, they had the ball like 7.5 minutes, so it's been a long time since this Redskin group's been out there.
Gets it. Said Terry Allen. Short gain right now for a McDonald's game break. Let's return to James Brown. At the end of last year when we saw Carolina, they were a formidable looking bunch. What happened to them?
I don't know. They don't look like they're half the team they were a year ago.
They really don't. 2nd and 7. Farrat takes a timeout. With 11:25 left to play in the first half, 3-0 Cowboys lead.
David LaFleur, number 89, talking to Scott Goldberth about how they're holding him. And Goldberth is telling him what to do about it when they hold you. You know, you just can't say, well, they're holding me. It's okay. Okay, now what are you going to do when the guy holds you? That's what Goldberth was telling LaFleur.
And he can tell him what to do, and then he's got to do it.
Usually you punch him in the stomach. That'll get his hands off you.
Here's Farrat back to throw. Pass complete to his tight end, Jamie Asher, short of the first down by about maybe 2 yards, maybe a yard.
Gus Farrat has only completed 3 passes, 2 to Terry Allen and that one there to Jamie Asher. He hasn't completed a pass to a wide receiver yet, so we know that they're going to have to open this thing up here pretty soon. Here's a new formation here. It's 3rd and 1. And they're bringing Ed Simmons in. Ed Simmons, their normal right tackle, is coming in on this short yardage as a tight end, and he'll line up right here on this side.
Which means he can catch a pass. I don't think he will, but he can. And I don't know if they got the first down or not. Larry Bowie. That looks like he's short to me.
It does to the Cowboys, too, because they're starting to send their punt return on the field. Deion Sanders is going back to a punt return position. There's Deion. He knows. He took one peek at it and ran back there, walked back there.
This is going to be close. I think this is a real.
Broderick Thomas hit so hard in there at short yardage, he knocked his sock off.
You think this is a decision for Norv?
No, there's no decision. You have to punt it. I think, you know, with the score 0-0, 3-0, I mean, you know, with 10 minutes to go, there's no way that you would go for it in your own territory.
Deion Sanders motioning to the crowd. And now looking to the heavens for blessing.
Luckily, there's a hole in the roof.
Took a long time.
You know, a punter will normally do that.
Yeah.
Full start. Prior to the snap, offense
punt,
number 29.
That Turk just hit.
5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
Almost went as high as the hole in the roof here.
I know, but you know, a punter will usually do that. He knows that it's an illegal formation, but he wants to get a practice shot in, and that's like being able to, you know, to get up on a tee and hit a practice shot on the tee. That was a free one from Matt Turk, and he just took it.
Plus, the practice shot is always one that makes everybody go, ooh, ah.
I know it. And
because he's so relaxed, he just goes ahead and says, I don't care, and hits it.
But, you know, usually after a good practice shot comes a good shot.
This one's a good one. Sanders signal fair catch. And the coverage team was right on top of it. Good punt. Hang time, I don't know about, but it had to be long. Still resting. 9 carries, 54 yards for Emmitt. Sherman Williams. Remember, he had a right elbow contusion. Like he hit his funny bone, right?
Yeah, I thought it was one of those things that they would just shake out over there for a while and he would be back in, but maybe the contusion is a little longer lasting than just shaking it out. Like I say, he's had a pretty good start. I mean, 54 yards, and
I think he'll be back.
Still have over 9 minutes in the first half.
LaFleur goes in motion. Aikman goes back to throw. Down he goes. Emmitt, as John Madden said, was running well.
You know, the thing he's doing in this game, Pat, is not only on the runs, but on the pass thing, he's keeping his feet moving. Remember a couple of weeks ago, every time he'd get in there, he'd stop his feet. Today in this first half, as he get in on run and passes, he's been keeping those feet moving all the time like the old Emmitt Smith.
Miller goes in motion on 2nd and 9. This is Sherman Williams, and he doesn't get back to the line of scrimmage. That'll bring
right
up 3rd
down
and long.
there at the bottom. Old Tony Hudson, his right tackle, got stuffed, and that'll happen when you're going to run behind some guy, and the guy that you're trying to run behind is in the hole. That's going to be a problem for you. Tony Hudson, again, we said, starting his first game ever in the National Football League, replacing Eric Williams, a big old tackle who's one of the best. Tony Hudson didn't do much on that play.
3rd and 9.
Larry Allen now moves out to left tackle on this 3rd down.
Flannery plays it. Here comes the blitz. Aikman gets it out of there to Irvin. Aikman took a pretty good hit.
And Michael Irvin was fighting for that 1st down. And you see he's not going to get it. Watch this in the clicker here. You'll see here's Michael Irvin down here in the bottom, and up on top you're going to see Troy Aikman. Is what he's going to do. He's going to leave. See the ball leaves his hands right now. Aikman hasn't even made the turn. But again, Aikman needed about 2 more steps on that.
Brian Mitchell back deep for the Redskins. Another good punt. This is Mitchell. Bill Bates down to make the stop. And the Cowboys continue to lead 3-0 with 7:51 left in the first half. 7:51 left to play in the first half. Neither team really been able to get too much going on there. One long drive for Dallas, out of which they got 3. This is Terry Allen. Have a look at the Aflac trivia question. Which Washington Redskin head coaches have a winning record against the Dallas Cowboys? Well, Tom Landry was here all those years from the beginning until Jimmy Johnson took over. And I know the Redskins didn't have too much success against Tom Landry. 2nd and 10.
Michael Westbrook lined up on the wrong side. Now he finally got over here.
Flag on the play. Pass complete to Bowie, and he is hit immediately and knocked backward. Randall Godfrey.
You know, there's a guy who's really been coming along as a Dallas Cowboy on this defense. I think of the front 7 over the period of the last month, he's been the most impressive player.
You know, he was sort of a sleeper in the draft. This is 2nd year because he was hurt almost his entire senior year at Georgia. That's Bowie down.
On the offense, 2 men moving and not resetting. Penalties decline. 3rd down.
Yeah, that was Michael Westbrook's fault there. He didn't get. You see what happens is they line up here, and then they finally get. You see the switch here, and by the time they get over here, you see Westbrook is coming now, and he's telling them, get over, get over, get over. Now, once you get over there, you have to be set for a second before the ball snap. You see, and they still have movement there. Now, that's okay there because that's motion. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
If we get a chance, I'd like to go back and look at that again and see what it does, all that movement to the Dallas defense. How many people it makes them move. For Washington, about 12. 7:05 left in the 2nd quarter. 3 wide receivers. Farad back to throw it. 4-man rush by Dallas. He has a lot of time. Gets it out to Westbrook. And a flag on the play. Westbrook got enough for the 1st down, but a penalty marker down.
And that would be Michael Westbrook's first catch of the day, and that would be the longest completion by either team, over 10 yards. But it's not going to be because when Farrat was scrambling, and that'll happen a lot of time, a lineman will get downfield because he's not looking back. He's looking forward, and he expects that something is happening, so he goes downfield, and that's probably what it was.
Whatever he thinks might have happened should have already happened. He had so much time.
There'll be a 5-yard penalty. Repeat, third down.
68 is Joe Patton, and that's exactly what it was. While all that scrambling was going on, we see Alvin Harper was hurt on the play. Michael Westbrook caught a pass for the first down, but Joe Patton went downfield. And that'll happen, again, it's the same thing on a punt. If a punter drops the ball, you usually have an illegal man downfield. When a quarterback scrambles that long, a lot of times you will have an ineligible man downfield. Your offensive lineman working down.
Of course, your offensive linemen have got their back to everything. They don't know.
And the Redskins just had 17 yards of completion wiped out.
Farrat back to throw again. Pulls it down, throws incomplete. Tried to get Westbrook again, unsuccessfully this time. The Aflac trivia question: which Washington Redskin head coaches have a winning record against the Dallas Cowboys? I know it's not many. Mike Nixon and Norv Turner. Mike Nixon 1-0. That year, the first year of the Cowboys, they played every team once. Nobody twice. Hence the 1-0 record. Deion Sanders waiting. No fair catch. Dips out of bounds just at the 31-yard line, where Dallas will take over with 6:09 left to play in the first half.
Charles Haley, one of the all-time great pass rushers, and he's working as a consultant with the Cowboys and working with the defensive linemen basically on pass rush, because he was one of the all-time great natural pass rushers.
LaFleur taken out of bounds by Stanley Richard. Now Charles Haley, I can see him being a coach. I can see him being a consultant. That somehow that doesn't fit.
No, he ought to be a coach, because I could see him being a coach in this league. I think he'd be an outstanding coach, because the guy knows football. He was a great player, and he's a very, very, very bright guy. In fact, I could see him being a head coach in this. I know someone's going to say, "Oh, that's far-fetched." Charles Haley being a head coach in this league. I could see it.
Emmitt Smith, 2nd and 4. Make it 3rd and 4 after they unpile.
You look at Emmitt Smith and you say, he's not running this and he's not having that, but that offensive line isn't what it used to be. And sometimes you have to say it. I mean, Mark Tuinei was there, when he was younger and playing as a strong left tackle. Nate Newton, and you had, Ray Donaldson or Stepnoski at center, Larry Allen, Eric Williams. Now you're there with George Hegeman at left tackle, Nate Newton, Clay Shiver, Larry Allen still there, and Tony Hudson at right tackle. That is not a great offensive line.
It doesn't have the ring to it, does it? Plus, they're all a year older. Pass complete to Michael Irvin. And that's enough for a first.
See, the first thing that you have to have is you can talk about Michael Irvin, you can talk about Troy Aikman. You have to have pass protection. Here they give him a blitz, they pick it up, and he has time to step up there and throw the ball out there. Now Michael Irvin is going to work on Chris Dishman here, and it's going to be a physical match. He has to get him up the field, sell him that he's going deep, and then come back on the out.
Which he did. 1st and 10. Aikman drops to throw again. Drops it out to Emmitt Smith, and Emmitt, a couple of people bounced off of him.
Emmitt Smith is a lot different now. He's back there with that, contusion, going out of there. But the big thing is that he is running down. He's keeping his feet going. He's not stopping his feet. And you find if you keep moving, if you keep going forward, you're going to find some good things on the other end of that.
Is it okay for me to say congratulations to our director, Sandy Grossman?
What did he do?
Just became a grandfather.
Oh, congratulations, Grandpa.
If it's not okay, I said it anyway. Aikman back to throw. Emmitt Smith shakes one tackle. And Emmitt gets to the Redskin 35. Keep those feet moving. You said it earlier.
And that's the difference in Emmitt Smith. He's doing it again now. You know, sometimes you can play football for a number of years and you just get in a rut and you forget something, and then you remember, oh yeah, geez, I have to keep my feet going all the time, and you go back and you do it, and then things like this happen, because when you keep your feet going, you're going to get into things like you saw Emmitt Smith on that spin move there.
When you miss as much time as he did and don't go through a training camp getting hit. Here's Emmitt Smith again. Emmitt. Boy, he had that first down marker in sight. I don't know if he got it or not, but he sure had his eyes on it.
Well, the Cowboys this year, and that's part of their problem in that red zone too, is they've left a lot of 3rd and 1 and 3rd and 1/2 yards out there by just coming up short of a first down. You know, and a lot of it is like that,
yeah.
Like running out of bounds just before the marker. Their tight end, Eric Bjornsson, you know, not going a yard deeper on the pass pattern. Michael Irvin not going a yard deeper on his pass pattern. And they come up with that short yardage an awful lot.
He missed it about 6 inches.
Yeah, but that one's not as bad because that was 2nd down. The bad ones are when it's 3rd down. Then you have the decision on 4th. Do you kick the ball or go for it on 4th? And those are tough decisions.
Well, you know, people are always asking, why didn't he do this and why didn't he do that? I think the one thing we miss and television misses is the speed of how fast things are happening down there. I mean, it's happening so quickly that you can't react. It has to be done almost by instinct.
Yeah, and you just have to know. I mean, a player, though, has to be aware of where the first down markers are at all time. He has to know exactly what he's fighting, because in his mind, that has to be his goal, is to get beyond that point.
3rd down. Sherman Williams. Aikman.
Now that is a good surge. That's a quarterback sneak.
That's more than a sneak.
That's what you used to call a wedge. But when you have big old Nate Newton, 61, getting up there, and Larry Allen, you can do that. You just come right in here, and that's a surge. That's a quarterback wedge. Look, everyone just wedges in there together and just gets those jerseys going backwards. We can get it from the other side. We can see it here. You see, now watch what it does to the middle here. You see those jerseys? They just get them, and they just ride them right back. When Larry Allen gets up and something, it does go back.
Flag on the play as Emmitt Smith picks up about 8. But a marker down.
I haven't seen a quarterback sneak like that in a long time.
Not that surge.
No, lately they've been just hitting a gap. That time, that was the old, what we used to call years ago, the quarterback wedge, the old wedge play. Before it was a wedge play, it was the flying wedge play. Yep. Remember the flying wedge?
They outlawed that.
Yeah, the old flying and moving wedge, and then it just became a wedge, anything right up the middle.
And then it became a sneak.
A sneak, yeah. But that was more like a wedge than a sneak. Yep. Good old-fashioned wedge.
Offsides on the defense, number 90. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Lang is the Redskin offside. Still first down. 2 minutes to go at Texas Stadium, where the Cowboys lead 3-0.
Look at this. The Cowboys have had the ball for almost 17 minutes. The Redskins just a little over 11 minutes.
1st and 5. Emmitt Smith and Herschel Walker behind Aikman. Herschel couldn't quite get his arms up.
That was the same pattern that they made a touchdown on last week. It was they get Herschel Walker right here, and he's going to run a swing. See, he runs like a flat, like out to the sideline, then he's going to run up. And you expect to get him on a linebacker. He had him on the linebacker, but then the safety, Jesse Campbell, came over there. Of course, then the ball was just thrown on one shoulder, was on his outside shoulder, where I think Troy Aikman is supposed to throw it.
I think so. 2nd and 5. Smith deep. Emmitt gets the carry. Won't make it. Knocked backwards after maybe a yard by Chris Zorich.
Well, he ran into a load in there, and that load was Chris Zorich, wasn't it? Chris Zorich, remember him for years with the Chicago Bears. The Redskins just picked him up a couple weeks ago as a free agent.
What a nice guy.
Great guy. He's here in a left-handed stance. You see, he uses his quickness, and he comes out of a spin. You see what he did?
How about that?
He was hit, and then he spun right into the hole that Emmitt Smith was running into.
I've seen that spinner move used a lot of times, and not often is it successful, but it was then. Here's Aikman. Quick to Stepford Williams. They won't get it, and they're in field goal range.
And that's, it's not the red zone, or as Barry Switzer calls it, the green zone, but it's awfully close to it, and again, they're not successful.
The no zone.
And, it usually happens when they don't have success on a run, like Chris Zorich stops a run, then they get a longer yardage situation. Michael Irvin talking to the officials there probably about Chris Dishman holding him or something.
Oh, sure. Some campaign.
Which they probably both do to each other the whole game.
41 yards out for Cunningham, and one more time. He is good again. 6-0. Dallas leads Washington. He hasn't missed since October the 5th. And his 29th for the year already. Mitchell, and again the coverage is excellent. Cowboys are saying we got it, but the officials say it was down. Emmitt Smith in that last series became the 11th player in NFL history to rush for over 11,000 yards.
And Emmitt Smith is one of the all-time greats. I mean, he's a guy that is kind of struggling this year, but even when he's struggling, he's better than 98% of the players in this league. And I'll tell you, he's a real warrior. I mean, over the years we've watched Emmitt Smith, and he's done some of the toughest things I've ever seen a running back do.
Farad gets it across to Brian Mitchell. Shy of the first down by about a yard. Bill Bates made the stop. You look at those now, everybody's saying Emmitt's not what Emmitt used to be and all that sort of stuff, but you look at the figures over the year, and he's what, 7th or 8th?
Yeah, he's still pretty good.
Farad gets away from one rusher. Incomplete, out of bounds.
Brian Mitchell, of course, is in there because he's the pass receiving back, and with this 2-minute offense that the Redskins are in now, they have all their pass receiving people in.
Don't forget, coming up, the Dockers Khakis halftime. JB and Terry with scores and highlights, and some surprising highlights today to go over. Some
good scores and some good highlights.
Yeah.
And you wonder how some of those things happen. One of those who would have thunk.
3rd and 1. Mitchell's the deep back. He gets the carry. He's got more than one. To the 35. That'll move the sticks.
He's been a good player for this Redskin team over the years, Brian Mitchell. Not only as a 3rd down pass receiver and runner, but as a kick returner.
I can't remember when he wasn't playing. Michael Irvin watching the Dallas defensive unit try to control Washington.
The Redskins haven't completed a pass to a wide receiver yet.
If it's there, they had somebody open that time. It's Henry Ellard and Leslie Shepard who were down.
I think Leslie Shepard was the guy that was running wide open. They had two guys running down the sideline. Here's Leslie Shepard. He's the wide open guy because there's really no one covering him. The closest guy was Kevin Smith, and he was on the outside receiver. If Gus Farad would have hit that.
I think he just broke his arm.
Timeout.
But Leslie Shepard was wide open on that thing.
Yes, he was. Washington, this is their last timeout.
Watch this play from the beginning. Here's Leslie Shepard. We get a blitz here, and no one covers him. The closest guy is right there is Bill Bates. He comes out and lets him go. He runs right through the zone. He's coming there. If Gus Frerotte throws a pass there, a perfect passer, any kind of pass, that's a touchdown.
If he just leads him to the inside a little bit more.
You know, that's the thing that we were talking about. We were saying that Norv Turner is going to have some plays in this game, and he is going to break someone open. And the play that it was Leslie Shepard. It was Leslie Shepard right there. But now can Gus Frerotte get it to him? The answer on that play was no. Leslie Shepard is still down. They're bringing the card out there for him. You can watch Leslie Shepard when he hits the ground here. You can see his left elbow as his hand hit the ground.
He's already grabbing
all his weight went on that left arm.
And it didn't take him long to grab what was hurt. I guess it never will.
But you wonder what would have happened if Gus Frerotte would have made the pass. And that was the thing I think that Norv Turner was worried about last night, or talked about it. You know, we can get something open. I'm not sure that Gus will always hit him when we get him. And that was not hitting him when they did get him, and Leslie Shepard came down on that left arm.
It would have been Washington 7, Dallas 6, if that pass had been thrown a little bit further to the inside and not quite so far.
And you can just see, he gets hit here by Kevin Smith, and as he goes, his hand, goes to brace himself with his left hand. Then the arm collapses. In fact, he was looking up there at the picture of it.
Yeah. That's another one of the things that when I was talking to Sonny before the game, Sonny Jurgensen, he said he had been trying to get Gus Frerotte, when somebody breaks open like that, put some air under it, give them a chance.
Yeah, and they didn't on that one. There's Sonny Jurgensen right there. And we're talking about
nobody could throw it like he could.
From any angle.
Right.
Sonny could throw it underhand, sidearm, behind his back. Sonny Jurgensen was a great athlete.
Great basketball player.
The other thing on that play with Leslie Shepard, though, and the Cowboys have to be worried about it, he ran right through a prevent zone defense. Omar Stoutmeyer, I guess, was the closest guy.
Here's Frerotte with time again, and again he's got a man open, and it's incomplete, and there is no flag. It was Alvin Harper who was shaken up earlier and might be shaken up again.
One thing, we talk about play callers and head coaches that call plays and head coaches that are aggressive calling plays. Norv Turner is that guy. Norv Turner isn't going for first downs now. Norv Turner is going for touchdowns.
Well, why not take some shots?
Yep. Remember Alvin Harper, he was always so good at those balls where you would just throw him up there in the air and he'd go up and get him on a jump ball. He didn't have a chance on that one for a jump ball because it was a little thrown behind him, and he kind of had to reach back for it a little.
I'm not sure what Gus Frerotte wants. Here comes a flyer.
On the offense, 5-yard penalty, still third down.
Gus Frerotte was saying that he couldn't hear, and he wanted the official to give him some time. One of those things, they do have that rule. If the crowd makes so much noise that the quarterback can't hear, he can ask the referee for help. But it didn't seem like it was that loud, did it?
No, it didn't. And they penalized him. But
take it on in there, Skins. We're here to win today. In the season.
Frerotte to Brian Mitchell. And that should run out the first half. That is the end of the first half with the score: Dallas 6, Washington nothing. And Fox NFL Sunday will continue with the Dockers Khakis halftime report after these messages. Brock Marion to return to kickoff, and Marion breaks out of the pack at the 40 at midfield in Washington territory.
Well, we talked about special teams and we talked about returners, but who would have thought that it would have been Brock Marion?
You got Herschel Walker back there. You got Brian Mitchell and Brock Marion.
Yeah, you have Deion Sanders, and here it is, the starting free safety Brock Marion, who makes a great run, support tackling. Starts up in the middle.
Yeah.
It was a middle return, nothing there. Bounced it to the outside and then up the sidelines.
A 46-yard return by Brock Marion. He's had an outstanding year.
Yeah, and he's had to, because Darren Woodson, the other safety there, has missed a lot this year.
Emmitt Smith, not much.
Emmitt Smith taking the pitch back, getting to the 45.
Marcus Patton brought him down, lost a yard perhaps.
You know, we talk about this defense here, Pat, of the Redskins, and the thing that they do well is you can't score against them. You know, I mean, they're like 29th against the rush, and they have some bad statistical numbers, but the one statistic for the Redskins, which to me has to be the goal of any defense,
Sure does.
is you don't score against them.
That's the most impressive one. In fact, these two teams are almost dead even in points against. Here comes the blitz, and Aikman knocked backwards. Just did get rid of it, intended for Anthony Miller. Aikman just got rid of it.
Yeah, this is one of the things we've seen a lot of Cowboy games, and Troy Aikman has really taken way too many hits this year. I mean, you know, they started with the Eagles doing it, and every team, when they play the Cowboys, their goal on passing downs is to blitz and to knock Troy Aikman down.
But the Redskins didn't do much blitzing in the first half.
That hasn't been a big part of the Redskin defensive plan.
3 wide receivers for Dallas. Aikman, here comes another blitz. Aikman up on top, incomplete. Anthony Miller again. Every week they keep saying it's time for Anthony Miller to step up.
Yeah, and they keep saying that he has great speed. I don't know. He looked like he stopped on that one, or they just weren't in sync, because Troy Aikman was leading him to one area and Anthony Miller wasn't going to that area. Anthony Miller's right there, and I'm not sure if he just stopped or maybe he stopped because Darrell Green tugged at him.
So the kickoff return by Brock Marion gets very little except field position. So we'll be going into the end zone. They'll bring it back to the 20. 13:47 left in the third, and Dallas continues to lead Washington 6-0. We got all kind of changes in the Redskin offensive lineup. Mark Logan's the fullback, and Ed Simmons is the tight end.
Ed Simmons is right here, number 76. Of course, he's the normal tackle, been the starting tackle, had a number of injuries this year, but they will bring him in as a short yardage tight end. They're bringing him in now on first down as a tight end.
1st and 10. They got to be running in that direction, and Terry Allen does. And Terry Allen knocked out of bounds after a pickup of 4.
We had word that Leslie Shepard dislocated his left elbow. Remember that play? That was just before the half. You see him get hit there by Omar Stoutmeyer. As he goes down right on his left hand, and the brunt of it has to go someplace. It went right to his left elbow and dislocated it.
You knew something had to be dislocated or something broken. You could just see it. Here's Gus Farratt back to throw underneath to Terry Allen.
Pass complete to Terry Allen at the 30-yard line.
That could be first down. Looks like it is. Alvin Harper, we've just been notified, has a sprained ankle. His return is doubtful.
Now, when you get a little running going, or they have to honor the run, then you can go the play fake, and you fake the run in there, hold that defense. That really helps your pass protection like it did on that play.
There's Farratt to Allen.
Terry Allen out of course.
And Terry Allen past the 35. Randall Godfrey the stop.
Brought down there by
The Redskin fullback, Larry Bowie, has a sprained ankle. They thought he'd be back, but he hasn't so far. Mark Logan is a fullback. Not normally a fullback, a blocking fullback.
That's not bad running in there behind Bob Dahl and Sharp Pordonish. the right guard and the right tackle. They're two pretty powerful run blockers, the right guard and tackle of the Redskins.
The handoff is to Logan. Not much doing. Darren Woodson up to make the stop. He plays the run. Well, he just plays about as well as anybody.
You know, he was when he was in college, he was a linebacker, and he was a linebacker that ran a 4.4. So what the Cowboys had in mind was you get a linebacker who runs a 4.4 and you play him at safety. So then when you need a safety or a cover guy, he's back there, and when you need an extra run guy, you have an extra linebacker in your defense, and it's worked out great for him.
Tight end in motion, and here's Farad back to throw. The quick pass is to Allen. And Terry Allen gets another Redskin first down. Terry Allen's not known as one of Farad's choice receivers, but you use him like you have to.
Yeah, and they usually bring in Brian Mitchell on that third down passing situation. That time they left Terry Allen. But you'd see how aware he was. He was running right at those first down stakes. We've been talking about that all day, how you have to be aware where the first down marker is and getting beyond it and so on. Terry Allen did it perfectly that time.
First down, Redskins at their own 42. Asher again in motion. Farad again back to throw. Has time. Does throw. Pass incomplete. Bounces out of bounds, intended for Westbrook.
Anytime you see two receivers in the same area like that, you're going to see Logan and Westbrook end up just side by side right here. One of the receivers is too deep and the other one is too short. And you see right there, well, they were both reacting to the ball, but Logan either should have been a little shorter to get a little more separation between he and Westbrook. Because you see what happens, the ball brings more defenders, and also another man brings more defenders.
Here's Farad. Pass complete. That's Henry Ellard. And they move it into Dallas territory. Henry Ellard has been doing just that for as long as I can remember.
And isn't it kind of fitting that that's the first completion to a wide receiver in the Washington Redskins today? And that's what they have to do, because if you don't get a ball to the wide receiver, and I know it's tough with a Kevin Smith there and a Deion Sanders and so on, but if you don't, you really shrink the field. I mean, you just bring everything in, and you really tighten this area if you don't get to the outside.
This is Washington's deepest penetration of the day. They're inside the Dallas 40. Before this, it was to the 49.
You know, one thing that Terry Allen was talking to us about last night, that he's always liked about Norv Turner, is that unless they get way behind, he'll stay with the run. And a lot of these offensive coordinators, they love to pass, and once they pass, it's very difficult for them to come back and start calling running plays.
Well, they all say we got to be patient, and that's what being patient is all about.
Yeah, and getting away from it and coming back to it, and Norv always does that.
Incomplete, intended for Asher. And he was open.
Oh, they had that one, too. That was a bootleg against a blitz, where the backs go to the left. Gus Frerott's going to come out to the right. You see the bootleg, they're going to fake like here, and then Gus Frerott's going to come out here with the tight end going out there, and they had this thing wide open. Watch the fake. You see everyone's going for Terry Allen. Asher's just wide open, and I don't know. Gus Frerotte may have thrown that ball a little before he had to, but that would have been a sure first down.
And more. 3rd and 7. Asher moves into the slot. And Frerotte goes down as the Cowboys put the heat on. This will take them out of field goal range and bring on the punter.
Yeah, we talked about Randall Godfrey and how many big plays he's made this year, and you're going to see he's one of the guys. You see all 4 of the guys. Here comes Randall Godfrey, and you get the big pass rush there. He doesn't get blocked. He's the first guy. Randall Godfrey was the first guy that hit Frerotte, made him bring the ball down and start to go up into the line, and then all 4 defensive linemen got him.
They're coming after Turk, who gets off a line drive to Deion Sanders, and who fielded it just before it hit the ground and has to stay there. Dallas will take over at about their own 17-yard line. Buster Blimp for providing us with these beautiful aerial views, and indeed they are. Currently flying over this event, altitude of 1,000 feet, and not a cloud anywhere. It was cold this morning, but now it's delightful.
This is good football weather. This is good hitting weather.
As long as it's down there instead of up here.
It's not too hot and it's not too cold.
Nothing doing for Emmitt Smith. Ryan Keel made the stop.
Yeah, that's one of the guys who's becoming a popular guy there in Washington is Ryan Keel, kind of a local guy, free agent. He was on the practice squad and they activated him, and he says he's one of those guys that just kind of handles the middle. Look, he got his hair coming down over that left eye or something in there that looks kind of strange, but he says he's just a big old fat guy who takes care of the middle, lets those good bodies handle the outside stuff.
There comes that blitz again. They jump. Somebody jumped. Passes out to Herschel Walker.
Did you see that? The ball was in the air as the flag was in the air, and they were both arriving at Herschel Walker at about the same time. I've never seen a flag thrown like that. The ball was coming one way at Herschel Walker, or to Herschel Walker, and the flag was coming the other way to Herschel Walker.
On the defense,
the Redskins were blitzing.
5-yard penalty. Repeat,
and they
second
jumped
down.
early. Rich Owens. Let's see if we can see the jump. And look out for the flag.
Yeah, Rich Owens is number 96. In fact, it was Keel that jumped. It was 99. They said 96. He was up on top. It was 99 after we were bragging about how big old Keel, big old fat guy taking care of the middle, let the good bodies take care of the outside.
He said he looked funny in one eye. This is Emmitt Smith off to the races. A flag on the play way back near the line of scrimmage.
And that's one great thing about having great speed in your secondary that Darrell Green has. You're not going to get real long runs for touchdowns.
They're going to bring it back.
And when you see the referee go like that, you don't know if he means bring the ball back or bring the officials over
face
there.
mask.
That's exactly what it was. He was giving that signal to get the officials over there closer to him.
Here's Emmitt.
Face mask, 5 yards on the defense, number 37. First down.
Yep, you can see number 37 was Jesse Campbell, and just as Emmitt Smith broke through the line, Jesse Campbell came, and not only did he get the face mask, but he missed the tackle.
Yep. If you're going to get the face mask, you might as well drag the guy down.
You have to get the guy down. I mean, that was, he had that face mask penalty, Jesse Campbell did, because he was in poor tackling position.
Two tight ends set up. And LaFleur goes in motion. Aikman goes back to throw it. The pump. And Aikman goes deep. It's incomplete.
Well, they didn't get Jesse Campbell on that one.
No.
That's the thing that they were going to try. I mean, somehow they think that they can get a post over here on this side. Here's the post. They think they can get this, but they can't get the guy beat here, plus they can't get the safety out of the middle. See, you got two safeties sitting back there. So the pump doesn't do anything. See Jesse Campbell, he's just sitting. Good coverage here. He's just waiting for it, reading the quarterback, and there was no chance at that to be complete. Dishman had him on one side. Jesse Campbell had him on the other side.
And now it's 2nd and 10. And again, LaFleur moves in motion. Aikman has caught this time by Irvin, the slant. That's a pattern they've sort of gotten away from.
Yeah, and they, I think that what they're trying to do is they were throwing that so much and not loosening them up that they want to try and loosen them up now. And this is what Michael Irvin can do just by using his body, and it's all position. I mean, Chris Dishman is right there, but all Michael Irvin did was when he got that right shoulder turn, then he gave Troy Aikman a target to throw that slant to.
3rd and 2. They're 4 out of 10 on 3rd down. This is Bjornsson. That's Emmitt Smith. He's short of the first. Derek Smith made the stop.
That's been the story of the Dallas Cowboys all year. I mean, they've done it this whole game. Barry Switzer's saying go for it, but they put themselves in this position way too many times. And I think that's the difference between the good Cowboy teams that they've had over the years and this Cowboy team, which has been kind of average so far this year. It's been this position on 3rd down, coming up short and getting in those 4th and short situations.
Will you ever forget 2 years ago in Philadelphia? 3rd and short, they went for it, didn't make it. 4th and short, they went for it again and didn't make it.
You know, and that's a tough one because they want to run the ball and they want to run it behind their best offensive lineman, Larry Allen, which brings you to the right side, but it also makes you run it behind Tony Hudson, who is a guy playing his first NFL football game ever. I guess he played 4 downs last week. But I mean, he's really starting his first game.
And Emmitt Smith went over to the sideline and looked as if Herschel Walker was grabbing Emmitt by the hand and stretching his arm, trying to see how much strength he had. Remember, he got it hurt in the first half.
This isn't a bad situation for a play pass. In fact, I believe they've been in the huddle too long. Anytime you're in the huddle that long, you're usually calling a pass play.
Too long for a sneak?
Yes, way too long for a sneak. This has to be a pass.
Miller comes in motion, and Aikman is back to throw. Swings it outside to LaFleur.
That's unbelievable.
Going to be close.
That is unbelievable. LaFleur ran that pattern too short. That's just stupid. I mean, you can't be 4th and a half a yard and run a half a yard pattern. That's just dumb. I mean, I know he's a rookie and I know all this stuff, but you have to be taught that you see this thing, you have to run beyond it.
Maybe he did.
I don't think. No, he didn't. I mean, he may have got beyond it at the end, but I don't think he did.
No.
I mean, here he comes. He's going to come out here. You have to know where that marker is, and you have to get beyond it. Because the guy's tackled too well. You can't believe you're going to catch it and then run for yardage.
And I don't care how big and how strong you are, you're not going to break a tackle by a guy like that.
Just dumb.
Cowboys 6, the Redskins nothing. Look at. I don't know what he said. Do you?
No, he said he ran the pattern short, and he said that's the 2nd time.
Too short, I think, were 2 of the words he said.
Yeah, and it was LaFleur, and it was too short 2 times. Too squared.
Ellard was the man in motion. To Henry Ellard.
I don't know if the whistle. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yep. Here's an official. There's an official saying that he was down, but I didn't hear the whistle from up here.
But now there's a guy who's thinking. He wasn't sure either. Why not take off?
Oh, here's Henry Ellard, and he just comes across and goes in motion, and then he runs that skinny post that they call it. He runs it on Kevin Smith. Gus Farad hits him. I don't know that anyone touched him when he went down. He goes down. He's touched. He's touched right there. Brock Marion.
Yep. First down, Redskins. Farad. Terry Allen. Terry Allen heads into Dallas territory right now for a McDonald's game break. Washington, JB has battled back. They still trail by 6. Farad rolls out. Gets one block, throws it away.
You know what's happening here with the Dallas Cowboys? It's the same thing that happened in a lot of their games. Is they win and they're beating the other team, but they let them stay in there by not getting first downs, by not making 4th downs, by not being able to convert in the red zone. Then they just leave this score up here, 6-0. Now it seems like the whole game the Cowboys have really outplayed the Redskins, but all the Redskins need, it was a lot like the Philadelphia game, all the Redskins need is 1 touchdown and they're winning the game.
And as I've heard so many times, heard you say so many times, you got to put them away once you get them down. Allen across the 30.
Inside the 30-yard line, number 49.
There's some good line play in there. I mean, you know, when we were talking to Terry Allen yesterday, he said this game's going to be what is that word?
Smash mouth.
Smash mouth. I don't use that word.
I don't either.
Yeah, smash mouth football.
I thought maybe somebody smashed you in the mouth.
Well, that happened a lot of times too. But anyway, he said it was going to be smash mouth football, and won by the offensive line, and that's probably what it's going to end up being. When this thing is all over, it'll probably end up smash mouth and offensive line.
Right now, the Redskins take a timeout, and Farrat comes over to talk to head Norv Turner.
The coach crazy. You see, you call a play in a formation, and then the guys don't get lined up in it properly, and they're still motioning each other, and then they have to take a timeout. Watch what Norv Turner was doing. He was watching that formation. He and Terry Robisky, the wide receiver coach, next to him. If we can't get it lined up, then let's take a timeout and talk about it and come and try it again.
3rd and 7 at the Dallas 29.
Especially when you get 3rd down. You don't want anyone lining up in the wrong spot or not running the proper pattern.
3 wide receivers watch the Dallas defense and see if they bring somebody. They don't. Chris Thomas makes the clutch reception in front of Kevin Smith.
He did. Watch this here in the clicker. You'll see the quarterback up on top and the receiver down here in the bottom. Chris Thomas, he's just working right there, and he works the slant. And once he gets the position right now in Kevin Smith right there, now the ball can be led into him and down where there's no way that Kevin Smith can get to it. The only guy that can catch it is a receiver.
At the 20, 1st and 10. Allen to the 18. Stopped by Fred Strickland.
That was the thing that Norv Turner was, always talking about, is being able to convert 3rd downs, because then you can call plays, then you can string things together, then you can get mixture. You can run inside, run outside, play pass, hit your slants, and all those things. When you can't convert the 3rd downs, then you never get into a rhythm and play calling.
That guy, Norv Turner, never gets tired of talking about football. Here's Farrat. Blitz coming. Pass incomplete. Intended for Asher.
Chris Thomas, remember the guy that caught that slant? He was the guy that played with the 49ers a couple years ago, and went to Cal Poly in San Luis Obispo. And a lot of great football players have come out of Cal Poly.
What kind of football do they play? Smash mouth?
They play smash mouth football. They play at Cal Poly.
And who went there that you might know?
Chris Thomas.
And who else? Other than you.
No. Bobby Beathard went there.
Well, he was your teammate.
Yeah. Kaufman.
3rd down. Another big 3rd down and another Redskin timeout.
Alex Bravo.
A lot of big names.
When we got the
Watch this play here. We talked about, here's Ed Simmons and the block that he gets here, and watch Trey Johnson. He's going to be pulling there. Watch the big left guard. He pulls and leads. So you get Ed Simmons as a tight end. You get your big Trey Johnson pulling from the offside.
Here's Herschel Walker. And there's not much doing for Herschel. He's out to about the 24. Stopped by Jenkins. Got the good block, or one of the good blocks on the kickoff on the touchdown play.
Yeah, you talk about momentum and how things change, and the Cowboys, we talked about that. They were playing well, but they just didn't score. They didn't take advantage of when they were going well. They let the Redskins sit in there, hang in there, and then Gus Frerotte makes a couple plays, Terry Allen makes a couple plays, and boom, they're ahead 7-6.
Now the Giants have won. If the Redskins win, they'll tie the Giants. If the Cowboys win, they'll still be behind the Giants, but they'll tie the Redskins. This is a big game for both these teams. Here's Aikman. They blitz off the corner. The pass is caught, fumbled. Walker gets it. Now they're saying, the Redskins sideline is saying, we got it. Looked as if Herschel Walker, who made the recovery, was down.
Yeah, the Redskins are just taking it to us. I mean, they're playing, we always use the word intensity. The Redskins are playing with more intensity than the Cowboys.
Bjornsson made the reception. It's still a Cowboys ball.
There's even more intensity in that pile up there. In fact, I think the Redskins had the most intensity. The officials were second most, and the Cowboys were 3rd.
You think he had possession?
No, I don't think he had possession.
Walker squeezed it, got away from him. He squeezed it again, and it got away from him.
And he's still squeezing it. Smith is down there squeezing it. Dishman is trying to squeeze it.
Now it's close to a first down. They might have to measure to see where the recovery was made. They have given it to Herschel Walker. Now let's see if it was a first down. Yes, it is.
First down, Dallas.
So then that was a completion to Bjornsson, and then a fumble, and then recovered by Herschel Walker for the first down. Barry Switzer said, "We'll take these things any way we can get them."
However,
you know, I'm impressed with the job this Washington Redskin defense is doing, and the way Mike Nolan has them playing, the defensive coordinator Earl Leggett, the defensive line coach, and the discipline and the intensity that this defense is playing with.
Emmitt Smith to the 40, the flag on the play.
And that flag is in the area of offensive holding. That came from the umpire. That's usually against an offensive lineman.
Down on the field before the game, we were talking with the people that circulate down on the field. Well, let's listen to this first.
Holding on the offense, number 61, 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
Call against Nate Newton, but anyway, everybody was saying, without question, Mike Nolan, we were just talking about a minute ago, should be a head coach in the NFL.
And, you know, and he's a young guy, and he's going to be a head coach in the NFL. And it was interesting. I saw a shot of you down there talking to his dad, Dick Nolan, who was a teammate of yours with the Giants, and Mike Nolan, the three of you standing there. I'm saying that's a great shot.
Troy Aikman still in the pocket. The ball's loose. Newton scrambles for it first.
Those are some words you've never used before in your life. Newton scrambles for it.
Maybe. And I guess Nate got it.
Yep, but this is good coverage. This is one of those coverage sacks. You see, Troy Aikman was looking, and he had to hold the ball too long, and then the sack is going to come. This is why he had to hold the ball. You watch Chris Dishman here against Michael Irvin. You know, there's one guy, you see, he can't go there.
Nope.
And then he looked on one side, and he looked in the middle, and by the time he looked to the third one, he got the ball knocked out.
2nd and 30 to Emmitt Smith. 2 or 3. It'll bring up about 3rd and 28. This game summary brought to you by Budweiser. Emmitt Smith, 16 rushes, 88 yards. Terry Allen got his 4th rushing touchdown of the season to tie the score. The Redskins have allowed 1 touchdown, not today, in the last 8 quarters. None today. 2 field goals by Dallas.
Yeah, and that's where their defense is so good. There's Ernie Zampese, the offensive coordinator of the Cowboys, and again, these situations are tough. I mean, the Cowboys have a lot of problems, and Ernie Zampese is not a big one of them.
Incomplete to Stepford Williams. It would not have been enough for a first down. So the Cowboys will have to punt with 19 seconds left in the 3rd quarter.
But couldn't you just feel the momentum change? And couldn't you just feel the intensity on that Redskins sideline? Even though things were happening to them where they weren't lining up properly, they had a burn tying up. You know, Norv Turner was getting upset. Gus Frerotte got upset. But at least they got upset.
Yep.
And I don't care what you say. This is a game of emotion. And there's only one way to play it, and you have to play it with a heck of a lot of emotion. Having said that, there's a penalty.
Well, if you don't play it with a lot of emotion, you don't wind up playing in December, late December and January.
There's no other way to play it.
False start prior to the snap. Offense number 51, 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
Broderick Thomas still 4th down.
But at some point, I think, you know, the Cowboys, if they're going to have any kind of year, and, you know, I mean, it may get to the point of no return here quickly, but they have to get mad about it and say, hey, you know, let's go out there and do some fighting like the Redskins just did on that last series when they had the ball.
This is Brian Mitchell. Up and into Dallas territory at the 45.
Big Dale Hellestray in there with Mitchell. Dale Hellestray, the snapper for the Cowboys. Brian Mitchell, the return guy. Snapper against return guy.
Well, somebody's got to get excited. Tonight, why is this dog in a tailspin? You'll see. And 10 Washington at the Dallas 45. Rod has Ellard in motion. He gives to Terry Allen. And Terry Allen picks up 3.
You know, one of the things the Redskins felt is that their offensive line is bigger and stronger than the Cowboys defense. And if they could get to this position in the game, that between now and the end of the game, they could just wear them out.
And that's the end of the third quarter with the score. Washington 7, Dallas 6. Fox NFL Sunday will continue after these messages and a word from your local Fox station.
Second it sets.
Rod to Ellard. Up the middle for a few.
You know, when they got Henry Ellard in this game, that kind of started them going, because there was a point where they hadn't hit a wide receiver. And I think Henry Ellard came into the game and was the first wide receiver to catch a pass. And then they started some things going, and they got Chris Thomas in there, and he catches a couple of passes. And, and that seemed to widen or stretch this Cowboy defense a little.
And now they're at the Cowboy 35-yard line. Rod going for more. Incomplete. Westbrook covered by Sanders. A flag on the play, and that's going to be against Westbrook.
Yep, there were two officials right there, and they didn't call anything. And then the third official threw the flag in there.
Oh, I'm wrong.
That was funny that there were two officials on that side and the guy from the middle.
On the defense, number 21, first down.
Yeah, Michael Westbrook said that Deion Sanders has a hold of him, and you can see the hand right there is on him right now, but does he hold him? You say, I don't know that that's a hold.
Is that pass interference?
No, unless you go back, unless something happened before that. What we saw in that picture was not pass interference.
Nevertheless, it's first down at the Cowboy 23-yard line. And the Redskins send Terry Allen straight ahead for nothing. Dexter Coakley made the stop. There's
Deion Sanders still can't believe it. He's down there talking to that official in the middle. You see, he's walking over towards the official in the middle that called it. There was an official on both sides there that didn't call it, and the official in the middle called it, the one that Deion's talking to right now, that he walked over there to talk to.
Well, he doesn't go to the defensive huddle anyway.
No, so he has time to talk to the officials between plays.
Second and a little over 10. Farad will take the jump ball. And touchdown.
Henry Ellard again. He's amazing. Henry Ellard came in and changed this game.
He really did.
He's been playing it for 15 years. They couldn't get a ball to a wide receiver. They bring him in. Now watch this against Kevin Smith. Here's Henry Ellard. He's going to go get to the end zone, and there's just going to be a jump ball. You see, he's watching the ball. He pushes Kevin Smith right there at the end, pushes him, and then comes back and catches the ball. That's what a 15-year vet does.
He was sort of phased out early in the year, and now he's phased himself right back in.
You know, and they're allowing more and more pushing by wide receivers this year than they ever have in the league.
The extra point by Blanton is good. It's 14-6. And the crowd at Texas Stadium is stunned. 13:37 left.
He's right. He did push him, but his Cowboys are down.
Here's Herschel Walker returning the kickoff. Herschel breaks out of the pack to the 33-yard line. The Redskins have done all this comeback in spite of those key injuries today. Leslie Shepard dislocated his elbow. Alvin Harper sprained his ankle. Larry Bowie hurt his ankle. In spite of that, they've captured the lead.
The interesting thing, but that brought Henry Ellard into the game, and Ellard kind of gave him a spark. And then that also brought Chris Thomas into the game.
Or it would have been Alvin Harper.
Right, and and that gave him another spark, and then they took all the momentum and all the fight and everything away from the Cowboys.
Aikman gives to Emmitt Smith. Smith's got some room. To about the 41. Stanley Richard hit him hard.
You should see Larry Allen come around that corner. I mean, this is the way a guard is supposed to come around the corner. I know the Cowboys are down and losing, but watch Larry Allen pull and make a collision here. I mean, he comes out like a determined man. Now, this is the way a guard should block. He just obliterates that side.
That's a awesome sight, isn't it?
How'd you like to be Jesse Campbell there? Jesse Campbell's looking and he sees number 73 and says, "Oh, I got to stand up to it, but I don't like it."
2nd and 1. Emmitt's second carry in a row, and this one, with his last surge, should get the first down.
We saw a picture when the Redskins had the ball just before they scored. We saw the owner of the Cowboys, Jerry Jones, down there in the sideline. And he was walking that sideline with some real urgency.
He had a lot of urgency in his step.
One of the guys that he walked to was Larry Allen. Now I don't know who he's going to walk to.
Larry Allen's one of the people who can help you immediately.
And Jerry Jones is a very, very competitive guy.
Bjornsson in motion. The fake this time to Emmitt Smith. Aikman stood in a long time, and it's over the fingers of Eric Bjornsson.
You know what this is all about? It's all about great coverage today by the Washington Redskins, because Troy Aikman has had some time, and he's looked, but he just hasn't been able to find anyone open. No one is getting open. I mean, the tight ends are, and here's Michael Irvin. He's on Chris Dishman, and you watch him, you see, and he's covered. You see the tight end is covered. You see the other side. Here's Anthony Miller. He's running nothing. There's nothing to throw to there. No one's working. So not all these sacks and all these things are the quarterback of the line. It's been great coverage by the Redskins.
2nd and 10. LaFleur about 3 yards. Aikman again gets to his feet.
These tight ends have been catching the ball, but they catch them all the time for none yards. And that's the thing that, Troy Aikman was talking about the underneath game and how they have to do the underneath game. But, he has to get rid of the ball because he's getting hit every time. And then none of his outside guys are getting open. Then he tries to go to his short guys, and they're running 2- and 3-yard patterns.
4 wide receivers this time. Smith stays in the block, picks up a blitz. The pass is caught by Billy Davis. And that'll be enough to move the sticks. You said something a minute ago in talking about who was covered. And the guys who weren't getting the ball were not working. You're right.
That's the thing. Watch Billy Davis out here. You see 3 receivers on this side. Billy Davis is on this side, and this is what he looks like. You see, he has isolation over here. He's on Darrell Green. He gets him turned. Troy Aikman makes a perfect pass.
And a good catch by Billy Davis.
Billy Davis, for a guy that isn't a starter and doesn't play a lot, seems to make more big plays.
Doesn't he, though?
Both on special teams and whenever they call him. I think they ought to play him a little more.
Here's Aikman. Incomplete. There's the flag. There had to be one that play. Intended for Bjornsson.
Well, Jesse Campbell was there. Jesse Campbell was covering, and at some point, when you cover a guy, if he's going to catch it, you have to go from cover guy to tackler. Jesse Campbell went to tackler too early. The referee lost one of his officials. He got his flag. Norv's saying that that's an uncatchable pass is what he's saying.
Come on.
But Jesse Campbell did tackle him before the ball got there.
Walt Coleman again is the referee. Jerry Jones with his back to you.
Jerry Jones will have something to say about it. Barry Switzer.
There is no penalty on the play. The ball is not catchable.
Oh, no, that's the 3rd time that they've picked up a flag against these Cowboys. Watch they play here. It's a play. Here it is right here. Watch Jesse Campbell, number 37. The ball's in the air. He tackles him. Oh, that's interference.
Yep.
I mean, they're saying is the ball was over his head, but if you don't tackle him, you don't know how high he's going to go to catch it.
How can you say it's uncatchable?
Yeah, you can't. I don't know. I mean, that, you know, sometimes, you know, I like these crew conferences to get things straightened out, but sometimes what they do, I think a guy sees something, makes a call, and then someone else talks him out of it.
2nd and 10. Davis wide to the right. Stephen Williams right left. Incomplete. Michael Irvin had it slip through his fingers.
I tell you, Chris Dishman has done an outstanding job on Michael Irvin. He's been on him all day. He's one of these guys that just kind of pesters you. You know, he's there. He's not a real physical guy, but he's always grabbing an arm. He's doing all those things that just throws your concentration off enough.
This one, he could have caught.
Well, he should have, but I think Chris Dishman has got him distracted. I think he's got him a little frustrated.
That's Darrell Green who's limping. Dishman, who was on the coverage.
Yeah, that was he looked like at the end of the play he got tangled up a little bit, but he's been out there all day on Michael Irvin. He's been messing with him all day, and I think he's taken a little of that concentration off. And just, you know, on that last pattern there, by grabbing a hand, you know, as he went, you know, before he got his hands up, I think that took just enough off that made Michael Irvin drop that pass.
Saw Aikman perhaps say, let's go, let's get the play in, let's get going.
Well, they got Dishman out of there. Now's the time to go to work. If Michael Irvin's your playmaker, go to work with him.
3rd and long. Incomplete. No flag. That's the first thing you look for, is a flag. The Cowboys will punt it.
Troy Aikman has thrown a couple of pretty good passes here. I mean, he's as accurate as there is, and those balls have been in there. I mean, I think Michael Irvin should have caught the one before, and I think Stepford Williams should have caught that one.
Toby going to punt for the Cowboys. High, good kick. Ryan Mitchell signals fair catch and makes it at the 12, where the Redskins will take over with 10 minutes and 14 seconds left to play. Washington leading 14-6. 15 left. A lot of time. The Cowboys have all 3 of their timeouts. There's Mark Tuinei, Wade Wilson, the backup quarterback, the backup to Aikman. Tuinei has been missed.
Chris Dishman there is talking to Darrell Green about how he's been covering Michael Irvin and doing an excellent job.
Ed Simmons again at tight end.
You see, he came out of there like he was a wide receiver or something, like it was a whirlwind.
Straight ahead is Terry Allen to the 15. Again for a McDonald's game break. Let's return. 2nd and 8 Redskins at their own 15. They lead Dallas 14-6.
And again, they're having problems with their formations.
2 tight ends set up. One of them in motion. Jenkins stays in to block. Farad intended, I think, for Westbrook. This game is presented by authority of the National Football League, is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Dallas Cowboys and the NFL is prohibited.
You know, there are some guys that just know how to get ready and beat other guys, and you just have the feeling that Norv Turner knows how to get his team ready to play the Dallas Cowboys better than anyone.
Well, he coached here. He knows them. They say that's overrated. The pass is batted into the air and caught by the Redskins' Jamie Asher, and that'll be enough for a first down, Washington.
And that was a 3rd down, and you talk about things going your way.
And a big one.
You know that you need some breaks in this game, and you're going to have some big plays, and you're going to have some tough plays, and you're going to have some lucky plays, and this may be one of those. I mean, the ball is tapped up in the air. Jamie Asher does a jump ball in front of 2 Dallas Cowboys, and then rambles and rumbles and stumbles to a first down.
And big old Ed Simmons is back at tight end. I bet he enjoys that.
Well, I think rather be playing right tackle, but if you're not playing right tackle, that's not bad.
Farad going to work and going deep. And again, the receiver, Henry Ellard, had a step.
Those are the things they know that, out there on that right side, you know that you can get some double moves, and that's what this is. When you come and you do a stop and go or an out and go, that's a triple move.
That was
a stop and go, and then an out and go, and then a go, and it was on Darren Woodson.
You know you got to have good protection to run anything like that.
Well, Norv had those plays, and he told us last night that he's going to get some plays. He's going to have some guys open, but he doesn't know if Gus will hit him.
This is Terry Allen, and Allen breaks through for another Redskin first down. Brock Marion finally dragged him down.
He ran that one like a runaway freight.
Did he?
Did you see Omar Stoutmeyer come up there to hit him, and he just ran right over him? And watch Terry Allen here. He does a little of that counter step, and then watch how he finds the hole here, and then watch him finish it right here. Boom. He just runs right over Stoutmeyer. I mean, this guy, when you look at Terry Allen and the way he runs and the way he plays, he's just a football player. And that's the way football should be played, the way Terry Allen plays it.
Logan gets it outside the 45 to the 47. He's not that big, or doesn't appear to be that big. Terry Allen, 210. That's big, but he doesn't look that big.
You see, and Norv Turner is still making those counter plays. I mean, he runs to Terry Allen. Then when you think you're going to zero in on Terry Allen, he runs to the fullback. Remember, he started with Larry Bowie early in the game, and that time is Mark Logan who's taken his place, just to get you to where you're not sure what they're going to do. Norv Turner and the Redskins offense always keeps you a little off balance.
2nd and 6. Allen taken down by Godfrey and by Hennings.
We were watching the Redskins in their walkthrough yesterday. You could just see those guys, and they're so big. I mean, you just look at that left side, that Joe Patton over there and Trey Johnson at left guard. And you think if you have to run something, that's not bad getting in there behind those guys. I mean, look at the size. Look at the size of number 77, Trey Johnson there. I mean, if you're going to get in behind something, why not get in behind this stuff right there? That's not bad stuff.
That's better than 320 apiece. The flip is back to Allen, and he's stripped up, and he won't get the first down, and the Redskins will have to punt it.
What in the heck was that play?
I have not seen that before.
I don't know. I mean, it was kind of, it's a fake to the fullback here. See to Logan. Oh, he ran into Logan is what it was. And Gus Farad just kind of improvised on that play. That's dangerous.
Kind of a dangerous play.
But still, Terry Allen working for the first down. Watch Logan comes in there, and he runs right into Farad. I think he was going to fake to Logan and pitch out to Allen.
It's going to be the option play, maybe.
Yeah, well, Logan ran into him, made some kind of option out of it. Maybe wasn't supposed to be.
Maybe. Turks punt, aim for the corner, and out of bounds. Looks like it is about the 3-yard line.
Coffin corner.
Coffin corner. There's another expression we haven't heard in a long time. 14-6 Washington. Look forward to seeing the blockbuster Blimpet. Future events here at Fox Sports. The house with the hole in the roof.
Remember when they put the 2-point conversion back in pro football? It was for games like this. That the Cowboys are one touchdown away from tying this game. One touchdown and a 2-point conversion, of course.
Here is Aikman back to throw in the end zone. Swings it outside, incomplete, intended for Irvin.
It looks like to me that Chris Dishman has gotten the best of Michael Irvin out there today, and whether he's had any help or not is just that he's kind of been over him all day. I mean, he's been there and he's done these little things that just kind of frustrate him. He's kind of there all the time and kind of pushing and just grabbing and just having an arm out there and punching in the face, grabbing a jersey. I mean, he's been kind of pecking at him all day.
Aikman again retreats in the end zone. Up the middle, complete to Bjornsson. That'll get the Cowboys out of the shadow of their own end zone. in goalposts.
Yeah, I think the Cowboys have found one area to work on that's been pretty effective, and that's the area of Jesse Campbell. I mean, they've been able to run some things, take advantage of Jesse Campbell. You know, that pass there on Jesse Campbell, because they can't get anything on those two corners, Chris Dishman and Darrell Green.
1st and 10 at the 24. Aikman back. Incomplete. Intended again for Irvin. Today's game is being produced by Bob Stenner, directed by the new grandfather, Sandy Grossman. The associate directors, Mike Roig. The broadcast associates are Fran Morrison and Charles McDonald. Technical producer, Bob Muller. Studio produced by Scott Ackerson, directed by Bob Levy. Senior producers, Bill Brown. And the executive producers of Fox Sports are Ed Gorin and David Hill. Here is Aikman back on 2nd down. And finally dragged out of bounds outside the 40, the 42 by Chris Dishman.
And Michael Irvin wins this battle. He has to win a few more on this drive for the Cowboys to get a touchdown. You see, he gets a little push, he gets a little physical there. Then when he makes the break, once he takes that first step away from Dishman, the ball is out of Troy Aikman's hand. The ball is out of there, and it's on its way before Michael Irvin ever makes that last turn.
Dishman just hung on. 1st down. LaFleur in motion. Aikman will throw it again to Irvin. The slant gets him to midfield. Dishman again. The longest scoring drive this season for the Cowboys has been 81 yards. This one, if they score, and that's a big if, would be 97 yards.
But they're doing one thing that I like on this drive. I mean, you know, Troy Aikman's your guy. He's a leader. He's the offense of the Cowboys. Michael Irvin is your playmaker. You have to score. You have to get him the ball.
That's Emmitt Smith, and there's nothing there.
You know, and he's the third one, Emmitt Smith. I mean, and that's Ernie Zampese, and that's what he says. You know, that we're going to take what we do best, and we're going to have our best guys do it. So he's calling plays now, and this is the time where you really get down to it. I mean, this could be the making or breaking drive of the Dallas Cowboys.
They need about a yard, maybe a little bit less, for a 1st down.
Well, obviously, with 4 minutes to go here, they are going to have two shots to get a 1st down here. So if you knew you can get it, it's not bad to go for a big one on this play. You know, go for a play pass.
Big if.
Yeah, it is a big if, because their success rate on 4th and short hasn't been amazing over the last couple of years.
4:05 left to play. Washington 14, Dallas 6. Ball just across midfield at the Redskin 49. 3rd and short. Cowboys have all 3 of their timeouts remaining. Handoff, and they don't get it. Lost yardage.
Yeah, he lost yardage, and now they have to go to that 4th down, that pass play.
Those of you who watched the 49ers overcome Carolina 27-19, welcome to Texas Stadium. This is 3rd down and short for the Cowboys, and they'll get back to the line of scrimmage.
Yep, and the guy that made the play was a strong safety. We always talk about that 8th man up. That time they brought Jesse Campbell up, and he was the guy that got the penetration inside.
4th and about 2 now. And Aikman retreats. Where is it? There it is. Michael Irvin to the 20.
That was a heck of a play by Troy Aikman, and great pass protection. Troy Aikman was trying to go to the left. He looked at one receiver to the left, a second receiver to the left, and he finally came back to Michael Irvin, who was his 3rd receiver. But watch this pass protection. See him look left, look to the middle. Now the 3rd receiver, and he even pumped and waited to get it out there to Michael Irvin. I'll tell you, that is Troy Aikman. That is also good pass protection, because Michael Irvin was able to do this. See that Troy still had the ball and come off a pattern, stay alert, and keep working and give Troy Aikman something to throw to.
He got just across the 20. The Redskins have a player down. The clock is stopped. The Cowboys 1st and 10 at the Redskin 20. 4 out of 6 for 79 yards. Irvin on this drive 3 out of 50. 3 catches for 58 yards. So it's been the playmaker making plays and the quarterback making throws. Incomplete. Anthony Miller, and wait, there's a flag down.
Have he been working Michael Irvin, like you said, Pat, on that drive? Then he decided to go to the other side to Anthony Miller. I think this is going to be pass interference against the Redskins, and it is. Remember now, being down by 8 points, the Cowboys need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion.
Interference on the defense, number 28. First down.
You don't often catch him.
Darrell Green is right out here. Here's Anthony Miller. He's going to run a slant. You're going to see Darrell Green come off with him to the inside and grabbed him right there just before the ball got there. And then usually when you see him back off and raise their hands back like that, that means they did it.
First and goal for the Cowboys at about the 9. Here's Aikman with time, lots of time. 5. No. Miller had a chance.
Again, the Redskins really haven't gotten a big pass rush on this drive because Aikman has had time a number of times to look for guys and go to his 3rd and 4th receivers. That time he threw it low there to Anthony Miller. He could have had a shot at it, but it would have been a great catch.
Would have been a great catch. 2nd and goal at the 9. Protection again the key. Redskins lay back. Out of bounds is Bjornsson.
I don't understand that pass to the tight end for none yards. I don't know what the pattern is where the tight end is taught to run none yards.
I don't think it's in the playbook anyway.
No, I know he's trying to hit his tight end because he's throwing a slant. He's having the outside guy run a slant and the tight end running out. And so if you come off with the slant, then he throws the out. And if you come with the out, he throws the slant. Well, they're making him throw the out, but they're none yards.
2 minutes to play. Washington 14, Dallas 6. It's coverage. The world's funniest, except on the West Coast, when it'll be seen in its regular time. 3rd and goal, the ball at the 6. We'd like to welcome those of you who just joined us to Texas Stadium. Head coach Barry Switzer, owner Jerry Jones. The Cowboys trailing 14-6. And the season is down to 2 plays maybe. Touchdown. Irvin. Now they have a chance to tie it. Remember John Madden talking about a little bit earlier the 2-point conversion. Dallas's success rate this year is 1 out of 4. The NFL success rate is 40%.
And Troy Aikman proved that he was a man, and Michael Irvin on this drive proved that he was a playmaker because he just kept fighting. He just kept fighting and fighting every time. Chris Dishman has been on him all day, and they've been fighting all day. And then on this final drive here, Michael Irvin has won all the battles.
Here is Aikman for 2. Emmitt Smith, and the Cowboys tie it. Washington 14, Dallas 14. A minute 55 left to play. The Redskins down to 1 timeout.
You never count a champion out until the final bell rings. That's what Troy Aikman was on this drive. He was darn near perfect. He knew that it had to be in his hand, and he took him all the way down the field, throwing the ball, mixing it around, throwing it to Michael Irvin. Then he had to make this play for the side.
And the 3 guys who carried him and through the 90s till now, Emmitt Smith, Troy Aikman, and Michael Irvin, to a tie in that last drive.
Well, they were nicknamed the Triplets. Now you can see they got the fight back in them, too.
The fight had gone for a while.
I tell you, I think when they got down there in that 3-yard line, they had 97 yards to go. You could just see Troy Aikman said, let's go do it. That big fourth down play where he had all that time to find Michael Irvin, who was really his third receiver, was a great line play.
But he kept working. Kickoff sails into the end zone, and they'll down it. The Redskins will and take over at the 20. Brian Mitchell.
That's just for the touchdown. Troy Aikman knows that he has to do it, and he's going to look, and he's looking, and he finds Michael Irvin, and he says, I'm going to take my chances with that battle. They looked like they were even. They looked like they were fighting. I'm going to take it. Look at Troy Aikman right there. He's getting in there, and he's giving them a talk. Then they all put their hands together. You can just feel in that meeting, in that group, you can feel a sense of urgency.
97 yards to tie the game. The Redskins first and 10 at their own 20. They have only one timeout. Barat to Terry Allen. Coakley shoves him out of bounds.
This is what the Cowboys have to be thinking now is to get the ball back, because they have their timeouts, and I would think with this field position that the Cowboys would be using the timeouts on defense if the Redskins don't go out of bounds.
And the Redskins should be thinking, do we stay in bounds? We've only got one timeout left, or do we force overtime? Pass is incomplete.
I think when you're on the road, you force overtime.
Norv
Turner's thinking that right now. Do you go for a pass or do you go for a run? An incomplete pass, of course, would stop the clock. An incomplete run would make him use a timeout.
He's putting his pass receiving unit, which includes Brian Mitchell, Chris Thomas, into the game. I wouldn't be surprised to see him run that play with Brian Mitchell this time.
Well, Mitchell, I wouldn't, just knowing Norv Turner, he is not a conservative play caller. I would expect him to throw a ball here and try and get a first down.
They burned their last timeout.
Well, again, it was that formation thing. They've had trouble this whole game with that formation. When they get their 3 and 4 wide receivers in there, they've had trouble all day getting them aligned properly. Norv Turner just folds his arm and thinks, well, we just wasted another one there. But this is a big call here. This is a big call for Norv Turner. You know, do you go and throw the ball and get a first down, and then you get to run more time off the clock? Although the Cowboys do have all 3 of their timeouts. Or do you go conservative and run the ball?
Following football coverage, the world's funniest, except on the West Coast, where you'll see it at its regular time. Nothing funny about what's going on right here.
Now, this is pretty tight. You know, we started this game talking about a rivalry and tradition and what great games these were between the Cowboys and the Redskins. And I'll tell you, we have another one here today. This is fun.
Both teams have to win.
And listen to this crowd. This crowd knows it, too. We talk about urgency of the players and urgency of the coaches and owners. These fans even have a little urgency.
Barat gives to Mitchell. Mitchell won't get the first down. He's chased down by Shante Carver.
And the Cowboys should take a timeout, and I think they just did, because I see the clock stop.
Well, here comes everybody. Woodson's down.
See, because the Cowboys are going to get the ball back again. Of course, you have Deion Sanders as a punt returner. They're going to get the ball back here in pretty good field position.
With 2 timeouts left.
Here's Darren Woodson right here. We'll see what happened to him in that play. Remember, he's had a bad knee, and he's missed a game already this year with the bad knee. And I don't know. It looks like he did something when he was jumping over the pile there. Because when you have a bad knee or a bad anything, it doesn't take much to re-injure it.
Well, you try to protect it, and in doing so and trying to protect it, whatever you do, you do awkwardly. That looks like something happened in the front of his leg, though. They're adding 3 seconds to the clock, back to 1:37.
Yeah, I think that's when they took time out.
Yep.
Remember, after they stopped Brian Mitchell on the run, they took time out before they even knew that Darren Woodson was injured. And the Cowboys still have 2 timeouts, but they will get a timeout, an automatic timeout after the punt, a change of possession. Look at those eyes of Troy Aikman. He has some fire in there today. And in this fourth quarter, it was like some light went off in there, and Troy Aikman and Michael Irvin and said, if we're going to do it, let's go do it.
Scoring plays today. First off, Terry Allen.
Following big Trey Johnson in there, his big right guard.
That tied the score. They added the extra point to go ahead 7-6. This was Henry Ellard.
He had a little push off there.
Redskins' second score.
And Henry Ellard did kind of change the momentum for these Redskins.
Here's Aikman looking back to the playmaker, Michael Irvin, who was in the end zone when he made the reception, was knocked backwards. Again, following football coverage, the world's funniest, except on the West Coast. Well, we had the sun going down on the Dallas season. What time does the sun come up?
I don't know, but we saw the sun go down, and we saw the sun almost go down in the Cowboys season, and maybe it's like a shade. You know, maybe it went down there and someone started to pull it back up again.
Maybe.
And I think that someone that pulled it back up was Troy Aikman and Michael Irvin.
And Emmitt Smith. And the offensive line, who gave Aikman a lot of time.
I'll tell you, and they have to be credited, you know, because they were the area, you know, you say George Hegeman's playing left tackle, and they got Tony Hudson playing right tackle for the first time, but on that drive, they gave Troy Aikman excellent protection.
You know, he said, yesterday we were talking to him, he said, I like these two young guys because they are going to make mistakes. They're going to miss some blocks, but they're going to fight you.
And then I was talking about what Nate Newton said when he came on the bus before the game. He says, we're going to go out and have some fun today.
Matt Turk has averaged almost 50 yards today.
He has some rockets in that leg.
And you don't want to outkick the coverage when you got a dangerous man like Deion Sanders back deep. Cowboys do try to block it. This is not his best. Turk kicks it out of bounds, and the Cowboys will take over at their own 43.
And now the Cowboys have great field position.
32-yard punt. This was a meeting over on the Dallas sideline earlier.
And this is a situation that Troy Aikman was talking about. We're going to get the ball back, and when we do, let's do something with it. And with this great field position, all he needs here to get in field goal position is a couple of first downs.
And he has 2 timeouts to work with.
And 1 minute 29 seconds and 2 timeouts, that's plenty of time to go for a touchdown. But again, a couple of first downs, get it down to the 30 would be their first goal.
3 wide receivers. That's Irvin going in motion, Emmitt Smith behind Aikman. Irvin, the pass from Aikman. Caught by Stepford Williams for a first down. Woodson will not be back.
You know, it's interesting that Ernie Zampesi's been much maligned for calling plays, but in the fourth quarter of this game, he's been calling some pretty good ones, hasn't he?
He's chewed up a lot of pencils. Intended for Emmitt Smith. Knocked away by Williams. Jamel Williams. They think he's going to be a very fine player.
Well, they think he's going to be a lot like Darren Woodson. He was the same type of player. He was a linebacker in college who the Redskins made a safety out of. That's the same history that Darren Woodson has.
Richie Cunningham.
Little Richie Cunningham, he's getting ready to be in real good field goal range. The Cowboys need about 15 more yards.
Clock is stopped with 1 minute and 4 seconds. Here's Aikman. Again, he has a lot of time, and again the pass is complete to Bjornsson.
Yeah, I wonder what the average completion yardage is of his completion to a tight end.
Both Bjornsson and LaFleur.
Yeah, that's been
It's
killing
got to be
him
less
today.
than 5 yards.
I mean, it may be like 2.
Maybe. 42 seconds, clock running. Third down. Aikman throws. Pass caught. This is Anthony Miller.
See, and Anthony Miller knew what he was doing. Again, we talk about knowing where that first down marker is. Anthony Miller, the first down marker here was beyond it.
Cowboys have taken a timeout. They have 1 left now.
See, he had to get to that 30-yard line. Now, that did 2 things. That's going to give the Cowboys a first down so they can go for some shots at the end zone. Plus, it puts them in field goal range right now.
You don't want a penalty. You don't want an interception.
Now, you don't want any turnover. You don't want anything that's going to lose any yardage.
Darren Woodson.
But if I had that situation, I don't know that I would rather have anyone have the ball than Troy Aikman. And I think Norv Turner, as you look at him right now, he knows that as well as anyone.
Probably better than anyone.
Probably better because he probably knows Troy Aikman better than anyone.
Well, he trained him, developed him. Aikman retreats. Here's Aikman scrambling for 3 yards. Getting Cunningham a little bit closer. They've saved 1 timeout.
Yeah, see, and you know that Troy Aikman knew that he can't take a sack. He wants to, he wants his team to get up there. Oh, I don't know that he wanted to do that, though.
Still had a timeout.
Yeah, but he didn't have to do that.
No. That's a down gone.
Yeah, but that brings up 4th down.
Got to go for the field goal.
They have to kick the field goal.
Got to go to. That's 3rd down. 3rd down.
Oh, okay. I was looking at the down marker, and it was 3rd down. I thought you can't do that on 3rd down. No, so he's buying this 1 more play, and then he can do whatever because he still has his timeout.
Aikman gives to Smith to the 25, and now they'll use the timeout. And now Cunningham will have a timeout to think. Barry Switzer.
Joe Avizano there, the special teams coach, is trying to get everyone to quiet down. Jerry Jones is saying my presence willed them to win. He came down.
Yeah.
Nothing was going right until Jerry Jones came down there to the sideline.
You think he said that to himself? My presence?
Yeah, he willed him. I mean, I think he did go down there to will him to win, and he believes that he could will him to win. He first went down there and some bad things happened because when he first got down there, that was right before Henry Ellard scored a touchdown.
If you don't believe it, it's not going to happen. And he believes it.
I wonder what the thoughts are going through all their minds right now. Wouldn't you like to see?
I can tell you what's going through his mind.
What?
Nothing. It's just a blank.
Is that what you do as a kicker? You just go blank?
If you're a good one.
Just go blank? I mean,
you're not even aware that anybody's around.
But you still see and feel and smell.
You see? No, I don't know about
Look at this. Look at this. They're all holding hands there on the sideline. This is a moment.
Bjornsson is the holder. Hellestray, the center. Cunningham, the kicker, and it's right down the pipe. "42 yards out. 4 seconds. No timeouts. And a long trip back to Washington. Jackson got well in a hurry to watch it go through.
Norv couldn't get it turned.
Nope.
It's a game of inches.
Inside the upright. That's all that counts.
Well, there's no way that Richie Cunningham is going to kick this ball in the air.
His 30th field goal of the year. 4 seconds left.
What you do on this kick is you just try and roll it down the middle and make them field it, and then that'll take off the whole 4 seconds. The clock starts when they first touch the ball, not when it's kicked.
The bouncer, handled by the tight end Asher. He's going to lateral it back, or looking to. Game's over. The play of the game is brought to you by Energizer, and has to be that touchdown pass. To Irvin. The 2-point conversion was just as big. And let's go down to Mike Ducey.
All right, Troy Aikman, talk about the drive, the 97-yard drive that got you back to tie this football game.
Well, we knew at the time that was going to be our last opportunity to get back in the game. We knew we had to get a touchdown. Guys did a nice job. We talked about it one play at a time. Guys made plays when they had to make them, and my hat's off to all those guys.
What did this comeback do to the rest of your season, and did this save your season today?
Well, it probably saved us. I mean, this game was a big game, but if we don't go on to take care of business from here, then this one won't really matter too much. But I think we all realize that in order to keep our hopes alive and get back in the race and have any kind of chance to win the East, we had to win today.
Given the way the offense was performing early, did you fear at one point that maybe this just wasn't going to be the day?
Well, we struggled. There's no question about that. It was frustrating. It's been frustrating all year, but I think a sign of a good football team was one that's able to battle back. We were able to put the adversity behind us and come out and win a football game.
All right, Troy Aikman, thank you.
Troy's not going to sing the national anthem tonight, is he? Coming up on the Fox NFL Sunday postgame report, we'll get you up to date on all the scores from around the league. That's all next on the Fox NFL Sunday postgame report.